Hello viewers, welcome to our channel TechStreet. In our previous video, we have seen different type of data structures. In this video, let's understand different types of algorithms. Algorithms can be classified based on the problem they are trying to solve. There are different types of algorithms: simple recursive algorithms, divide and conquer algorithms, dynamic programming algorithms, greedy algorithms, brute force algorithms, and randomized algorithms. Let's look at all these different types of algorithms in this lecture with a small examples. There might be some terms that you might not understand, or you might have difficulties with understanding this concept. Don't worry about that because everything I mentioned here will be discussed detail in upcoming lectures. The very first algorithm is simple recursive algorithm. The method which call itself is called an recursion. Let's try to understand this with an example. The sum method calculates the sum of all integers from 1 to n using recursion. It keeps calling itself with a decremented value of n until it reaches to the base case which is n less than or equal to 1. Let's break down the sum method step by step. This line defines a method named sum that takes an integer n as a parameter and returns an integer. And the next one is base case. This is the base case of a recursion. If n is less than or equal to 1, the method simply returns the n. This stops the recursion from continuing. And the last one is a recursive case. If n is greater than 1, this method returns n plus the result of calling the sum with n minus 1. This is the recursive call. Let's see how it works with an example. Let's say n equal to 4. So now it call the method sum of 4. It will come inside. 4 is less than or equal to 1. The condition is false. So it will calculate the last recursive call, which is nothing but 4 plus sum of 4 minus 1, which is 3. Now this is a recursive call for our method. It will call sum of 3. Now again, 3 less than or equal to 1. The condition is false. So it will again calculate this recursive call. So 4 plus 3 plus sum of 2. This is again a recursive call. It will come here. 2 is less than or equal to 1. The condition is false. So it will again calculate the recursive call, which is 2 plus sum of 2 minus 1, which is 1. Again, this is a recursive call. Here, if you see 1 less than or equal to 1, the condition is true. So it will return as 1. And here the recursive breaks. And finally, it will give the result as 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is 10. So this method which takes n equal to 4 as an integer and finally returns 10. And the next one is divide and conquer algorithm. Divide and conquer is a strategy for solving complex problem by breaking them into smaller subproblems, solving each subproblem independently and then combining their solutions to solve the original problem. We need to follow these steps to perform divide and conquer algorithm. First one is divide. Split the problem into smaller subproblems. Next one is conquer. Solve each subproblem recursively. Next one is combine. Merge the solutions of subproblems to get the solution of the original problem. Consider an example of merge sort. Let's understand this merge sort with an example. Here we have an unsorted array. We need to sort this array using divide and conquer algorithm. So initially in divide and conquer algorithm, we need to follow these three steps. First one is divide, next one is conquer, and final one is combine. So we need to divide this particular problem into two sub problems. Nothing but two halves. We have divided this array into two halves. This is the first half and this is the second half. Now this is one problem which we need to solve. So further we need to divide it into two halves, the first half and the second half. And again we are further dividing it into two halves, the first half and the second half. These 70 and 20 are individually sorted. Now we need to perform the conquer. Nothing but we need to solve this each problem recursively and we need to combine them. So 70 and 20 are already sorted. We are performing conquer. Nothing but we are sorting this each of them individually. And finally we are getting an sorted subproblem array. Here 70 and 20 are sorted, nothing but 20 and 70. Now let's see the other half. We are dividing this into two halves, 30 and 50. 30 is sorted and 50 is sorted. Now combine this. So we have get the sorted array 30 and 50. Now again we need to combine these two sorted arrays. After combining we got this sorted array 20, 30, 50 and 70, which is sorted. Now let's look into the other half. So we again divide this particular subproblem into two smaller subproblems, the first half and the second half. Again we need to divide them into two halves, 60 and 10. 60 is sorted and 10 is sorted. Now we need to combine them. We got the sorted array 10 and 60. 40 itself is already sorted. Now combine these two sub arrays, 10, 40 and 60. After combining them, we got the sorted array. Now at last, combine these two sorted subarrays to get the sorted array. That's how initially we perform the division and conquer. Recursively, we are sorting these particular subproblems and finally combining them. This is how merge sort will work using a divide and conquer algorithm. Next one is dynamic programming algorithms. Dynamic programming is a method used in computer science to solve problems by breaking them down into simpler subproblems and storing those results in these subproblems to avoid redundant calculations. It is particularly useful for optimization problems where the same subproblems are solved multiple times. To explain this dynamic programming, let's use Fibonacci sequence as an example. The Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers where each number is the sum of two preceding ones, starting from 0 and 1. So the sequence will be looking like this. Let's understand this Fibonacci sequence. The first Fibonacci sequence is 0. The second Fibonacci sequence is 1. Now the third Fibonacci sequence will be calculating by preceding two ones. So 0 plus 1, which is 1. And the fourth Fibonacci sequence which calculate with the preceding two ones. So 1 plus 1, which is 2. And fifth Fibonacci sequence will be calculated preceding these two. 1 plus 2, which is 3. If you want to calculate the sixth Fibonacci sequence, we will be using this fourth and fifth positions one, which is 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. So, if you want to calculate that particular sixth position Fibonacci sequence, we need to calculate the fifth one, which is calculating by using fourth and third. So, fourth need to be calculated, three need to be calculated. So, in after calculating these two things, then only we can able to calculate the sixth position Fibonacci sequence, right? So, instead of calculating all these third, fourth, fifth position multiple times, we'll store the particular preceding values, nothing but, for example, in the fourth position we need second and third positions only. So we'll be storing the second and third positions and we'll be reusing those two values to calculate the fourth one. Similar way fifth, similarly sixth. So this dynamic programming algorithm is used to storing the results of these subproblems to avoid redundant calculations. Next one is greedy algorithms. Greedy algorithms are a type of algorithmic approach used to solve optimization problems. The main idea behind a greedy algorithm is to make a series of choices, each of which looks the best at the moment, with the hope that these local optimal choices will lead to the global optimal solution. Let's understand this greedy algorithm with an example. Let's consider a weighted graph. If we want to travel from 0 to 2, there are many ways we can travel from 0 to 2. Let's consider 0, 7, 8, 2. It's a longest path, right? We can go 0, 1, 2 as well. If you want to go from 0 to 1, 4 is the minimum distance to travel from 0 to 1. Because if we see 0 to 7 and 7 to 1, which is 8 plus 11, here it becomes 19. So 4 is the minimum distance to travel from 0 to 1. In the same way, if you want to travel from 1 to 2, which is 8, which is a direct graph, which is 8 value here. We can travel from 1 to 7, 7 to 8 and 8 to 2, which is a longest path. So we need to find the minimum distance. So from 0 to 2, we can travel from 0 to 1 and 1 to 2. The answer is 12. In greedy algorithms, we choose to make a series of choice, each which looks the best at the moment. Next one is brute force algorithms. Brute force algorithms are a straightforward and simple approach to solve problems by trying all possible solutions and selecting the best one. For example, consider a Rubik's Cube, which we try to solve this particular Rubik's Cube with every possible move. And the next one is randomized algorithms. Randomized algorithms are algorithms that make random choices during their execution to solve problems. These algorithms use random numbers to influence their behavior, which can lead to different outcomes even when run multiple times on the same input. For example, consider a quicksort algorithm which works best on random number to choose pivot number and make decision about it. Don't worry about quicksort algorithm because I'll explain this algorithm in detail in our upcoming lectures. I think hopefully now you have some idea of what different type of algorithms that are available. If you like this video, please share with your friends and don't forget to subscribe our channel TechStreet.